Hello, YouTube family. It's your girl Marietta here, back with another video. Y'all know I was in the city this morning. I did a video showing where I was in the city this morning. I was taking care of some business and whatnot. But in the midst of that, when I got ready to leave there, I went by the store, the public store, and I had a chance to I went and got me some Chipotle as well, but I was just running around. So I got a chance to talk to a young lady who is in the process of going through an eviction, and I kindly asked her, I said, what was the problem and why are you getting evicted if you don't mind? Because she just spoke and said hello. She was stressed out, and she said she wanted to talk. So I just wanted to go ahead and listen at her story, and she was telling me that she was getting evicted only because the price of the rent is going up. The price of the rent is going up. You know, the price of the average rental is running between $1,700 and $2,000, and depending on where you at and depending on the amenities to go with that unit. But so many people are suffering in the midst of this situation and don't know how to operate, don't know what to do when they're going through these type of things. And the sad part about it is there's going to be so much of this going on, and you're going to hear it. I'm going to hear it. We all going to hear it. There's going to be so much hurt and pain going through with people not being able to find a place, and these things are going to happen. Why? Because for the mere reason the price of the rents is going up, but the incomes are not changing. The incomes are not changing. You cannot get blood of a turnip. You can't expect people to pay rent in a era of time where there's just not enough money. It sounds to me like you only have so many options to operate in a situation the way the world is today, with the evictions going on because of the price of the rent. You only have so many options. One, especially if you don't have good credit. If you don't have good credit, the only options you have, first of all, is to try to clean your credit up, see what you need to pay, go ahead and pay it. Secondly, you may have to team up with somebody. You may have to live with somebody, but God knows that is a hard thing for people to do, especially a people of color, to come back to living together, 3 or 4 or 5 in a household, just to make ends meet. You got to really love your neighbor. You got to really love your family to be able to live like this, and the people got to really want to make it, and they want everybody in the house to make it. That's the problem. The working together. The hard part about being in a situation like this is you can't find the right people to work with, so you're trying to do it by yourself, and you cannot, because if you got put out because of the price of rent going up, then and your income cannot afford to pay, so there's no way you're going to be able to afford to pay to go into something else. Because remember now, to get into a place, you need first month's rent and security deposit in most places. Some people are still saying it, and I thought they'd done away with that first month security deposit and last month's rent. I thought they did away with that. You got to have 3 times the rent. But some people are saying that is still happening depending on where you live and depending on what area you're trying to go into. So therefore, you're maxed out of the living conditions from the beginning. And then you can't get into low-income housing because low-income housing, they froze. I remember hearing that they had froze the Section 8 waiting list. In a lot of states, that listing has been frozen, so a lot of people cannot just go and get on the waiting list. And even if you manage to get on the waiting list, that waiting list is so long, you still got to figure out what you're going to do. You still got to figure out how you're going to move. You got to figure out what your next move is. You got to get some type of a hustle going on, some type of a new grind. Make sure it's legal now, because I'm not telling nobody to do nothing illegal, but make sure you got a legal hustle going on where you can make some extra money. DoorDash, Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever you need to do. Get out there and do what you need to do to make some extra money so that you can be able to maximize your dollar, so that it will be able to go a little further for you at this time. And the sad part about it is when you start talking about the eviction notice, let's get back to that. The evictions that are happening right now, most of them are happening because of the fact that the rents are going up. Why are the rents going up? Because the taxes are going up. Because the fact that the landlords got to keep up as well with the rising costs of inflation going on today. So they have to raise the rents on these units, so that they can make their money also off of these units, so they can make sure that they can continue to function in this economy the way the situation is. You know, a lot of this is also pre-pandemic. Remember, a lot of times doing that, people were already behind. People were already not able to pay the rent. They were already looking for other avenues of how to be able to make it and be able to survive in this world the way the world is today. And we got to look at the fact that it's just not enough. It's not enough. You got to figure out First of all, it does not matter what the government says, no matter what. Why? Because they're not coming to save you. They're not coming to help you. They're not cutting you no checks. We don't see no stimulus checks coming out. And we don't see no way you're going to get around this. But you got to fend for yourself. I don't care what is happening, no matter how hard you think it is, no matter what it looks like, no matter how damaging it is to your family. You still got to figure out how you and your family got to move. You still got to figure out some kind of way to keep a roof over your head. So that means if you got to rob Peter to pay Paul and do what you need to do and cut the prices here and there, you got to do what you got to do. So you got to come to a place where not be out there trying to hurt or harm nobody or stealing from nobody else. You got to work within your means, whatever that looks like to you, however it looks like. You have been in this world for so long to the point where is there not one person that trusts you? Is there not one person that you can trust? Is there not one person that you can get into a house and build with? There's got to be somebody. You were not in this world by yourself all of these years that you've been here. So therefore now we got to a place where there's no other way you're going to make it other than the fact that you got to come together with somebody, or you got to figure out how you can connect with HUD or some of these organizations to try to get into a low income. But we know how that's looking. We know how that's happening. You got to figure out how you can get on some type of a home buying program where you can pay little at a time, little by little, maybe to buy something. I don't know what it looks like for you in your house, but what I do know that if you do not figure it out to the point where if you feel like the government is going to save you in this situation and tell you how to move or give you extra money to move, or they're going to just all of a sudden wake up one morning and say we're going to have sympathy or empathy for you, no, that's not going to happen. You still have to work this thing out, and you got to work it out on your own. So you got to come together with somebody. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing your attitude. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing your perspective and how you looking at things. Sometimes it's just a matter of having that conversation with somebody so that you can be trusted enough for them to live with you, and that you can be safe enough for them to go in the house with. So, I mean, it's just a matter of things. This is just what it is. This is where we're at right now. Evictions are coming. More evictions are coming. And this is not the only eviction that I've heard of in a long time. I've heard of them. It seems like I'm hearing about one at least every 2 weeks. Somebody's getting evicted. Somebody's things are getting removed. People are going to court. Landlords are taking back their property. I mean, it's just so much I'm hearing about, to the point where I just feel as though that we got to start looking at this like, I got to do this for myself. I got to be strong enough to pull my own self up out of this. I got to figure out where me and my family got to go, how we're going to live, how we're going to eat, how we're going to make it from day to day. Right now, you just got to put yourself in straight survival mode. Straight in survival mode. How do you plan to survive through these next couple of years? How do you plan to do it? And if you don't have a plan, you need to sit down and start working up one. You need to start thinking about this. You need to really seriously start taking this seriously, and taking your life seriously, and taking your livelihood seriously, and where you're going to live at. And if you got children, you need to start taking it real serious, that this is coming. It's coming. It's coming. Even more evictions are coming. You got to understand that the price of rent, the price of mortgage, this stuff is going up. And let me tell you something. When they go up, it's more than likely they're not going to come down for a good long time. F at all. F at all. The job market sucks. Some of you are going to be working day and night. You have to prepare yourself to do what you have to do. You're going to have to get yourself 2 or 3 streams of income coming through. If you already had 2 or 3 streams of income and it's not working, you might have to add another one. You might have to figure out how to be an entrepreneur and work for yourself. These 9-to-5 jobs, you better believe they are laying off so hard to the point where the people are so stressed out they don't know whether they're going to have a job from one day to the next. But the eviction is still coming. Whether you laid off or not, you're still getting evicted. These people are still getting evicted daily. Daily. They don't know if they're going to have a job. The anxiety is over the top. The stress level is over the top. They're out here. Don't know which way to go. Survival. They're in survival mode. Don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. It's painful. It's so painful. Evictions. We're talking about the evictions. We're talking about what can we do in the midst of these evictions. How do we move after we get evicted? There's no need of saying that, well, we're getting evicted, but maybe the government should do this. Man, you already see their hand. They're playing their hand right in your face. They're doing the things they're doing daily in your face. They're putting you out on the street in your face. They're letting you know that your income is not enough in your face. They're letting you know that your income is not stable in your face. They're letting you know that you got to strategize now. Now you got to wake up. Now you got to stand up. Now you and what's locked up inside of you has to kick in and be ready, willing, and able to fend for your own family. I don't know anywhere else to say it. I don't know any way else to say it. God knows I want you to live. I want you to survive. I don't want you to be stressed out. I don't want you to be out here thinking about how you and your kids going to eat. I don't want y'all to have to sit there and take up an empty spot in the woods in some little tent somewhere when you got time. You got time right now to know that evictions are coming. More evictions are coming. You already know what type of landlord you got. You know what type of person you renting under. Have the conversation. Start having some conversation with y'all landlords. Start speaking into existence some things in your life. Put some things out there. Let the landlords know what y'all are working with before they decide they want to raise the rent. Before you get put out nothing so they raise the rent, let them know, please, let you know in advance so that you can figure out a strategy plan that you can use to figure out how to get that extra money up. Even if you got to try to, figure it out by taking on more hours at your job. Some of y'all are already working the max hours and it's still not enough. I get it. And it's hard to figure out what you're going to do when they raising the rent above your pay grade. They raising the rent above the amount of money you bring home every week. It's just not enough. Some of y'all, the rent is twice your pay. Like you might pay $2,000 for rent now, and you're only making $2,000 every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks. So therefore, you got 1 week's pay to work with, and out of that, you can't afford to buy the things you need or pay the car insurance, pay the phone bills. There's more bills besides just paying rent. You're just going to keep paying till you done maxed yourself out, but you done emptied your hand. You done played your hand. So before your hand gets played, you need to figure out how to keep some money in your hand. You need to figure out how to work this thing so that you can be able to survive. Because if you continue to keep paying somebody else's rent on somebody else's building, you're never going to be able to make it, because eventually you're going to be maxed out, and then you're still going to have to get out, and now you're starting from square one. You're starting from the bottom. So so you're in this situation, and you know you're going to get evicted. You feel like you're going to get evicted. You feel like you're going to lose your job. You feel like you cannot make it. It's time to leave now. Leave now. Start strategizing how to leave now. Start strategizing how you can put things into motion now. Start strategizing exactly who you can team up with now. Because I'm telling you, the way this thing look, if you're not making it by yourself right now, times out of 10, you're not going to be able to make it by yourself. You're not going to be able to make it by yourself. So you need to start having this conversation now with some folks. I don't know who, because I don't know who you connected to. I don't know who, because I don't know who you've been spending time with. I don't know who, because I don't know who you trust and who trusts you. Only you know that. Only you know that. But one thing I can tell you is, with the rising cost of inflation, the rising cost of things, and the tariffs ain't really hit us good yet. The tariffs are still coming. Oh, y'all hear me. Hear me very well. I can't say this thing no plainer. I'm not going to dress it up. I'm not going to sit up here and try to take you to Bible college. I'm not going to sit up here and try to give you a bunch of fancy words. I'm just going to tell you, leave now. Leave now. Start protecting your dollar now. If you're paying rent now and your rent is steady going up, leave now. Start getting yourself in position where you can actually feel yourself building a life that you're going to be able to live in that situation for long periods of time. But if all you're doing is working and giving all your money to somebody else, to some landlord, and you don't have no money for yourself, when they get tired of you, or they get ready to put you out, or they get ready to raise the bills, or they get ready to raise the rent on that place, there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it but leave then. And if you got to leave then, you might as well leave now. Prepare yourself. Evictions are coming. Prepare yourself. More evictions are coming. I'm screaming this loud. Why? Because I want y'all to know that I do not want you to be blindsided by the fact that I'm hearing it all over the internet. I didn't know my landlord was going to put me out. It just hit me all of a sudden. I didn't know this was going to happen. I wasn't prepared for this. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for this to happen. Because these landlords still have money to make. And if they're letting you rent that place below market rent, they're going to eventually raise that rent. Because they're eventually going to have to raise the rent in order for them to survive, and somebody got to lose. And a person that owns the place is not going to lose on their own dime. They're not going to protect you while they go under. They're not going to protect you while they lose their place. They're not going to protect you while their taxes pile up. That's just not going to happen. So you need to understand that you are responsible for your living conditions. You're responsible for how you're going to live. You're responsible for how you're going to move. And therefore, you ain't got no other choice but to start figuring it out now. Start figuring it out now. Stop looking for these agencies to come and save you, the agencies to come and help you. There's no more of that. It's over. Leave now. It's over. Leave now. Play it like a broken record over in your mind that right now I got to start figuring out how I'm going to move right now. How am I going to do it? I even hearing that even in the trailer parks, they're renting trailers. And when you rent the trailer, you only pay lot rent. But yet and still, even the lot rent is high right now. The lot rent's even getting to be expensive. It's time to have to take on some responsibility, and you may have to, like I said, you're going to have to team up with somebody. If you don't have that income, you don't have that money, it's no need in you screaming HUD, there's no need in you screaming Section 8, there's no need in you screaming the president, there's no need in you screaming the government, nothing. You got to look in the mirror and scream for strength for yourself. You better call in the name of Jesus. That's the only name that I know that can come and help you. That's a name above all names. You better call in the name of Jesus and ask Jesus to give you some direction and order your steps and let you figure out how you're going to move right now in this season, because it's getting ready to get tight. It's getting tighter every day. So I just wanted to make sure that it was understood that evictions are coming. Evictions are coming. They're coming at a rapid rate. I know they got something called the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. They call it the ERA program that provides financial assistance for households struggling to pay rent. Check those out. Those were pre-pandemic organizations that I heard about. But with that being said, I just want to let y'all know that I love you. I want to let y'all know that I'm thinking about y'all, that I want to make sure that, you know, it's understood that we're going through a housing crisis right now. Evictions are coming. People are getting put out. Rent is going up. I mean, people don't know which way to turn. I mean, right now, it's like saying my heart goes out to us all, even me included, everybody. You know, we all got to look at the fact that this is affecting everybody. It's affecting a lot of people around the globe. And as these rents go up, y'all just be careful. You know, do the best you can, but start thinking about how else you can live where you can get out from under these agencies, and see if you can connect with somebody, an agency that can help you with the high cost of these rents. It's exhausting. It's truly exhausting when you get on the line and you constantly see good people, hardworking people, people that have tried, people that have worked and are struggling of no fault of their own. So with that being said, I love y'all. I truly do. Y'all be blessed. If and so you have not subscribed to the channel, please think of subscribing to the channel. We're on a journey for 10K over here. We're doing good. We're over 5K right now. And if and so you have not turned your notification bells on, please turn your notification bells on so you'll be notified when I drop my next video. Just know evictions are coming.